It's such an honor to be here with NAMI and all of you. Thank you for being on the front lines of lifting up those with mental illness. First, I would not be here were it not for my mother. When I won my primary in June of 2020, I publicly said that before I was a congressman or a councilman, I'm first and foremost the son of my mother, Deborah Bachelet. And for me, there's no greater honor than representing the Bronx, which is full of powerful mothers like mine who struggle and suffer and sacrifice so that their children and grandchildren can have a fighting chance at the American dream. In many ways, one of the best forms of mental health care is a mother's unconditional love, and I'm living proof. You know, I never thought life would take me on a journey from public housing in the Bronx to the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. 13 years before becoming a member of Congress, I was at the lowest point in my life. I had dropped out of college. I found myself struggling with depression and abusing substances. I even attempted suicide and underwent hospitalization because I felt as if the world around me had collapsed. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have an opportunity to rebuild my life and then a few years later become the youngest elected official in America's largest city, and then several years later become a member of the United States Congress. I would not be alive, let alone a member of Congress, were it not for mental health care and the impact it's had on my life. And I feel, every morning I take the same antidepressant that I've taken for the past 10 years, Wellbutrin XL, 150 milligrams. And I feel no shame in admitting it because mental illness is nothing of which to be ashamed. Right. Mental health care is what enables me to be a productive public servant, to be the best version of myself. And as a public official, I feel an overwhelming obligation to speak my truth, to tell my story, in order to break the shame and silence and stigma that too often surrounds mental health. I'm an unusual elected official. I do not fit into your typical profile of a member of Congress. I'm slightly younger, congressionally young. I do not have a net worth of $1 million. I do not come from a political dynasty. I do not even have a college degree. But what I lack in formal credentials, I make up for in lived experience. I know what it's like to face housing insecurity and food insecurity and poverty. I know what it's like to struggle with mental illness. And my lived experience with mental illness is not a weakness. It is a strength. It does not impoverish me as a public servant. It enriches and drives everything I do. So thank you for having me. Thank you for the work you do. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.